everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are in full HD. I just got a tripod for my camera, so now I can actually use my Canon and put away the MacBook camera, which is not the greatest quality, although it does hide your flaws a lot better. I found that out the hard way when I, came on no makeup and I was like, wow, you can see every pore on my face. I wanted to do a get ready with me / daily makeup routine video for you today, just where I did the makeup tag with under $10 products. I wanted to kind of show you what I do every day and the products that I'm using every day. So obviously right now I am without makeup, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing that I'm going to use is Benefit's POREfessional. So I just have a teeny bottle of this, but I really like it. I bought the small version just to try it out to see if it was something that I liked. I like the way it feels when it goes on the skin, and I also really like the smell. Like, I'm a huge, I don't know, I feel like when you're putting something on your face, you want it to smell good. In my last video, I was talking about the e.l.f. Primer and how it smelled really medicinal, and that kind of just grossed me out. Like, I didn't feel right about putting that on my face. And it felt really slick as well. I don't know, I really like this one, and I think when this is gone, I'm definitely gonna buy the bigger version. It isn't cheap. Like, I think this small bottle was something like $15, which is actually quite insane. But I'm a sucker, I don't know. I do like it. I usually just put it underneath my eyes, in between my eyebrows. I have some fine lines right here, so I like to kind of fill that in if I can, and then around the chin area. I'm really weird with primers in general. Like, I only recently started using a primer, and I don't even use it all the time. I'm so inconsistent. I feel like it does something, but I'm not 100%. Like, there isn't such a clear difference that I can say, oh my gosh, this is so worth it. But in my mind, like, I've convinced myself that it's doing something, which is why I keep buying it, I guess. The next thing that I'm going to use is Makeup Forever's Matte Velvet Plus Mattifying foundation, and this is in the shade 25. I really love this foundation. I use it every single day, and I've been using it for the last 2 years. Before that, I used MAC's Studio Fix foundation, which is insane coverage, but I just found that it didn't match my skin, and it took me a really long time to figure that out. So by the time I found this, I was like, loving it. Okay, so I do have a couple of blemishes, so I am going to use MAC's Select Cover Up just to touch those up. So sometimes I do use this around the eyes as well, but I have another concealer that I use just because it's a little bit more brightening, whereas this is better to kind of hide those blemishes. So I'm going to use this concealer underneath the eyes, and this is Sephora's Bright Future Gel Serum in the shade, in shade number 1. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't love this concealer, and I'm kind of just using it to use it and to not waste it. I feel like it's like a couple shades too light for me, which is why I use it under the eyes for brightening, and I try and kind of balance that out with the powder. I don't know, I got matched at the Sephora store, and this is what they said would work for me. And I don't know if maybe I'm wrong or if it's just a personal preference, but I do find that it's a bit too light. Okay, so once my concealer is done and my foundation has been put on, I use a foundation powder. So I know to a lot of people they probably think that's quite heavy, but I like a full coverage look. So I do what works for me. I use the Makeup Forever Pro Finish foundation powder. Looks like this. For years and years and years I was using the MAC Studio Fix foundation powder, and I still actually do use it, but I don't have a MAC store near me, so when I needed to replace my foundation powder, I just went into the Sephora store, and I thought, why not go with the same line? Like, if I'm already using the liquid foundation and I really like that, why not check out to see if Makeup Forever has one? And they do, and I like it. So for now, this is what I'm using, and then when this is done, I actually do have my MAC one to replace it with. So I go between the two, and this is in the shade 115. I just find that the powder on top of the liquid really smooths and evens everything out, anything that the liquid foundation or the concealer missed. So that's why I like to kind of finish it off with that. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to brush out my brows just to get any of the powder out of the brows from the foundation, and then I'm going to fill in my brows. So this is just an eyebrow brush from Sephora. And it has the brush on one side and then the lash separator on the other side. I don't know what number this is because it's rubbed off, but the one thing I will say that I really like about this is that it doesn't have, like, you know, most of them have the plastic here and here, and then have the little teeth in between. I like that it doesn't have that because it makes it much easier to actually separate your brows when you don't have the plastic ends getting in the way. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but look it up and look through a couple of different ones and look and see if you can find this one, and I think you'll get what I mean. I'm really sorry. I wish that I had the number, and if I find it, I'll put it in the description box below. So it's brow time. Brow time is my favorite time. Not really. I love my brows, but I hate doing my brows. So what I'm going to use is Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Express for brow and eyes in the shade Brunette. So if you don't know, it looks like this, and it's a little kit that comes with eyebrow stencils and an eyebrow duo and eyebrow wax, and then a shadow duo. Truthfully, I have been through every brow product you can even think of. I bought this primarily for the stencils, and I really didn't like them. Like, I'm sure they work great on some people, but I just found that none of the stencils fit my face. Like, they just didn't look right for me. Then I went away from this and I used Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz and then Dip Brow, and I liked all of those things in the moment, but I've just changed the way I want my brows to look, so I went back to the powder, and I'm really happy with it. I know definitely once I hit pan on this, I will be replacing it with the actual brow duo that they sell. Just kind of using this to use it up, but I'm very happy with the product, and I just like the overall look. Like, it's a much softer look, and that's what I'm going for right now. So I am going to use this, and it does also come with an angled brush, number 15 actually. So yeah, let's get started. So another thing that I do is I just use a brush with a spoolie on the end. Any sort of spoolie will work, and I just like to periodically brush my brows through, and it, you know, gets any of the excess product and moves that through. And then also it's kind of nice to take a step back and just see if you're liking how your brows are looking. Kind of like when you're tweezing and you're in that big magnified mirror, and then, you know, you step back and you're like, oh my god, what have I done? I like to do that just to check myself every now and then to see, you know, to make sure I'm not putting on more than I want. So next is eyeliner. So I like to use the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Gel Eyeliner in black ink, and I just use the MAC 212 flat edge brush to do that. I had to kind of really angle the brush properly to see the number still on it, because I've had this brush for so long it's completely rubbed off now, but it is the 212. I know a lot of people like to use angled brushes and you know, different types of brushes for eyeliner, but for whatever reason I do find the flat edge brush to be the easiest for me. I think it's because I literally just put a little bit of eyeliner on the top of my lids and that's it. If I was doing a winged liner, obviously this like would not be ideal. That's pretty much all I do for that. I stop about halfway where my pupil is. I find if I go any further in than that, my eyes start to actually look smaller, which is not what I want. Again, I'm not a makeup artist and I don't know all the techniques and technical terms, but from experience, that's what happens. So I just stop right about there. So now on to mascara. I'm going to be using Diorshow Blackout. I actually was going through and looking for my Bad Gal Lash because that is literally my everyday holy grail mascara, and I couldn't find it, but I found this, and I just remembered that I bought this, I don't know, I want to say a month ago, and I promised myself I was going to use it because whenever I buy something at Sephora, I mean, Sephora is not cheap, as you all know, so I bought it and I was like, oh yeah, definitely gonna use it, and it's still sitting there and I think I've used it once, so I am forcing myself to use it. I hope I don't regret this. So next up for me is blush. The blush I'm going to be using is NARS Orgasm Predictable. I know. I actually have been using the Makeup Forever HD blush for a really long time and I love it. But I still had this and I came across it the other day in my makeup collection and I thought, okay, I need to pull this out again because I love it. So here we go. Okay, so next up for me is lips, and that is one of the last steps, I promise. You know, during the day, everyday look, I really just wear lip moisturizer. Usually I use this bad boy, which is called Zim's Crack Cream, which is like probably the worst name in the whole world. But it's kind of like a Vaseline, like a different brand, similar to a Vaseline for your lips. And it's just so hydrating, and I have one in my car, in my purse, at work, at home. I have one everywhere because the second I feel like I don't have one within arm's reach, I'm like, oh my god, my lips are gonna fall off. So that's the one that I usually use. Today I'm going to be using Rosebud Salve, Smith Rosebud Salve, and you can get this from Sephora and I'm sure a bunch of other places. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and if you liked what you saw, please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!